This is Lakewood, California, in the summer of 1973. It was a time and place defined by a hypernormal, quintessential American baseline, a neighborhood of quiet streets and manicured parks. On one of these ordinary afternoons, a young boy named Dan Burisch was at Mayfair Park, playing a game of catch with his grandfather. Dan wasn't thinking about anything unusual. He was focused on his hero, Willie Mays, and he wanted to catch a high-pop fly like him. He asked his grandfather to throw the ball as high as he could. It was a sun-drenched, perfectly average moment, the final seconds of Dan's life before his reality was permanently fractured. Tracking the ball, Dan ran backward, his eyes fixed on the sky as he waited for the drop. Suddenly, a blinding, unnatural flash from the sun forced him to wince and look down toward the grass. When he opened his eyes, the park had gone dark. The sun seemed to have vanished, and the entire area was inexplicably shaded into a deep blackout. In the study of traumatic experiences and unexplained phenomena, this is a missing time event, a gap where consciousness stops, but the world continues to move. The true terror of missing time is the realization that the universe you wake up in no longer matches the one you left seconds before. When Dan regained his bearings, he realized the first impossibility. The sun had physically shifted to an entirely different position in the sky. Hours had vanished instantly. He scanned a field, looking to the west to find his grandfather still sitting by a tree. Then a traumatic visual fragment surfaced, a single-frame flash of a tall entity dressed entirely in gray, standing directly behind his grandfather. Terrified, Dan sprinted across the grass toward the only source of comfort he had left. But he found a man he barely recognized. His stoic grandfather was sitting in the dirt with reddened eyes, weeping uncontrollably. For Dan, these tears served as a grim validation. They suggested that the anomaly wasn't a trick of his imagination, but a shared objective trauma that had physically affected them both. His grandfather didn't say a word. He simply took Dan's hand and led him home in a chilling silence. The event triggered an immediate domestic collapse. Fierce, unexplained arguments began to erupt between the adults late into the night. Within a short time, the grandparents abruptly packed their things and moved away from the family home. Dan's grandfather took the secret of that afternoon to his grave, refusing to ever speak of it again for the rest of his life. It's a testament to how an impossible event can destroy the bonds of a family when the truth is strictly forbidden from being spoken aloud. In the weeks that followed, Dan's normal childhood identity died. The interests of a typical boy, like these G.I. Joe action figures, were discarded. He was suddenly consumed by an intense, savant-level obsession with complex cellular biology and microscopy, an aptitude that was entirely new. This shift eventually led to his recruitment by covert government operatives to study extraterrestrial tissue at the high-security S4 facility near Area 51. Researchers call this abduction divergence, a documented phenomenon where a subject experiences a sudden, unexplainable leap in scientific aptitude following a missing time event. This drastic change in behavior is the most compelling evidence we have. It suggests that whatever occurred during that blackout was powerful enough to change the very direction of Dan's life. Fast forward 30 years, and adult Dan finally returned to that exact spot in Mayfair Park. Standing there, the emotional floodgates finally opened as he confronted the repressed memory of that afternoon. He described a profound sensation, the feeling that his late grandfather was still sitting by that tree, sharing the grief of what they had lost. Whether interpreted as contact or a deep psychological fracture, the anomaly at Mayfair Park demonstrates how a single, unexplainable moment can completely rewrite a human being's destiny.